So I haven't created a video on this channel about demand gen campaigns in Google Ads, and there's a reason for that. Most small businesses should not create a demand gen campaign, at least the way that Google says you should. You shouldn't even think about creating a demand gen campaign until you've seen success with the standard campaign types like search, shopping, and I'll even throw Performance Max in that mix. And the reason why is simple. The placements that demand gen uses, which includes YouTube Shorts, YouTube, Discover, Gmail, and the display network. The return on ad spend that you'll get on those networks is nowhere near as strong as the standard search network. And so the original intent behind demand gen campaigns is to create demand. And to do this, Google is leveraging those placements that I just mentioned that have a lot of activity, but your advertisements will more or less be an interruption to people that are actively on those placements. I mean, if you think about it, there are some comparisons that you could make to demand gen and Facebook advertising. Demand gen is more audience focused. And while I don't recommend that most small businesses create demand gen campaigns, there is a path that I've seen success with. One of the benefits of demand gen when you compare it to Performance Max is how it deals with audiences. In Performance Max, audiences are a suggestion. You provide Google an audience, they will target that audience, but then they will expand from there. But in demand gen, audiences aren't a suggestion. They actually create strict boundary lines, and as long as you don't have optimized targeting set up, Google will show your advertisements only to the audience that you select. And so the path that I've seen success with demand gen campaigns for small businesses is to treat demand gen campaigns like a remarketing campaign. Now, this is counter to the name of demand gen because with remarketing campaigns, you're showing your advertisements to people that have engaged with your business, whether that's through your website or maybe you're uploading first-party data into Google Ads and you want to show your advertisements to those people. And so while I don't deem the placements of demand gen as the highest quality to drive conversions, and if you don't believe me, Google is starting to roll out channel reporting in Performance Max, and so you can actually see the results that you're getting on the specific networks. And more often than not, the demand gen networks will drive some of the lowest results. But you can treat demand gen like a remarketing campaign to take advantage of all the activity that's happening on those networks, but show your advertisements to your qualified network. My name's Scott Redgate. I'm an online marketing coach. And if you want to save some money in Google Ads, make sure to grab my free PPC cost cutting cheat sheet. You can get it at scottredgate.com/cheat sheet. I'll leave a link in the description below. All right, so I am in a demand gen campaign in my dummy account here. And inside of demand gen, it says set your campaign goal, which is conversions or clicks. Because we're going to be treating demand gen like a remarketing campaign, I'm actually going to select clicks as the campaign goal. And the reason for that is we already know that the audience is qualified. They've been to your website, maybe they've added to cart but didn't check out, and we want to drive as many clicks as possible from that group. Now, if you're using demand gen like Google is intending you to use demand gen, I'd probably lean towards selecting conversions or conversion value if you have the option. And just like in any other campaign, you have the ability to set your budget. And one nice thing about demand gen, especially when you compare it to Performance Max, is you actually have the ability to include or exclude specific devices. So let's say, for example, that you don't want to appear on TV screens. All you have to do is set specific targeting for devices and uncheck TV screens. And as you scroll down, we're now going to go into the ad group settings, and that's where you have the ability to set your audience. Okay, so I'm in the demand gen ad group. You can select your location here, and you'll notice on this screen, you don't have the ability to select presence versus presence or interest, just something to keep in mind. And then we'll go down to this channel section right here. And again, you get even more control to select the placement types that you want to appear on. So choose what you would like, choose where you would like to appear, or just select all Google channels to have your demand gen campaigns eligible to show across Google's placements. So this is the section that I want to talk about, this audience section. First off, make sure that optimized targeting is unchecked. If you have it checked, the audience that we're about to select is just going to be a suggestion. Since we're treating demand gen like a remarketing campaign, we want to only show to the audience that we select. So I'm going to select add as an audience. I'm going to select create new audience. And then in this section right here, which is your data, people who have previously interacted with your business, you can browse your existing segments Right now, I've got the ability to retarget to my website visitors or even YouTube users. And so let's say I wanted to retarget to anyone that has been on my website. Simply drop that down, select the audience, and then save that audience right here. You would then go on to create your advertisement. So maybe that's an image ad or a video ad or a carousel image ad. You'll input all the information on this screen, you'll save it, and then you can launch your campaign. Now, I feel like this video is kind of cheating because again, demand gen, this was not the intent that Google had when they released demand gen campaigns. The intent with demand gen was to introduce your business to a new audience and to drive more demand. But I've just found that with the small businesses that I've worked with, you need a lot of budget. You need a lot of spend to drive good results from a demand gen campaign. And knowing that small businesses have a limited monthly budget, I would rather allocate that to campaign types that really work, like search or shopping or even Performance Max in some instances, than to a true prospecting campaign like demand gen, which is why I recommend demand gen if you use it like a remarketing campaign inside of Google Ads. Hey friends, I hope that was helpful for you. And in the comments below, if you think I'm wrong, if you've seen amazing results with demand gen and you think everyone should be using it, leave a comment below and let us know how demand gen is working for you. Thank you so much. Until next time.